Welcome back to another episode of the Winners Culture Podcast, where we like to highlight the journey to success instead of the glory that it brings. I got my co-host with me to the left.
Hey, y'all, I'm Blondie.
And then to my right.
It's just JJ.
And I'm Knock on Woods, or just Daryl, 1R, 1Y, 1L. Don't forget that. With us, we got a very special guest, man. A man that has many hats, many talents.
Oh, man.
Straight up. It's a lot of things under the resume, as they call it. But we got Manny 215 with us today, man. How you feeling?
Good, man. Alhamdulillah, I'm in the building. You hear me?
Yeah. How y'all feeling today? Y'all good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I had an early start today. I was rocking with What I Wish I Knew Foundation. You feel what I'm saying?
Bro was in the building. He came through. He saved a life. You hear me?
Yeah,
Saved a life today.
Yeah. Let him know.
Y'all always try to forget me. I definitely was
No,
there.
we ain't forget about you, sis. You was in the building, man.
Blondie was there, too. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we're going to hop right into it. For the people that don't know, could you just give us a brief introduction and explain what the foundation of What I Wish I Knew is about?
Yeah, so what I wish I knew, it started out really just exactly what it said, man. I came home from jail and I was in jail. I was looking at a lot of stuff that I thought made sense for me, like for where I wanted to go, like, and then, as I sat down and I'm just like, I'm all the way on my, like, I'm off the street stuff. I'm trying to go all the way legit with business. My son was born. Wow. I'm like, man, I'm trying to slow it down. This really came out of nowhere. I had an idea, like, I want to do like a ceasefire day in my hood. You feel me? This when the violence was really starting to like kick up a little bit, like 2019.
Yeah.
I want to do a ceasefire day in my hood. That joint went good. We had ceasefire day, back to school, job, concert, and cookout. Wrapped the whole what's that called? Schoolyard with vendors and had panels on real estate, people's getting on-site credit consultation. We talked about trauma and how that correlates with, I forget, but it was a lot going on, you feel me? And then, that was really like the birth of What I Wish I Knew. From there, we was building 21. They gave us the opportunity to teach an intro to entrepreneurship and life skills class. And then, we just back at it right now after COVID. COVID kind of set us down for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a lot.
I mean, that's a heavy for your first joint. That is real heavy.
Yeah, no, for real though. It caught me by surprise. Like it was like my first like real event that I did.
Right.
Like 200-some people came out. We made the news and all that. So it was like just a real moment for me. Like, and like for real, like we talk about the struggle. We talk about the grind, right?
Yeah.
Like I ain't had no money at the time. You feel me? Like I'm talking about like I'm transitioning from like not selling drugs. I got to figure out a whole different way of creating money for myself. You feel me? So I'm walking around this whole city hot. I ain't had no haircut. I'm spending my last $25.50 on a week on a trans pad just to go from this meeting to that meeting and meet with the different brands and get everybody on board and stuff like that. And that was just the grind of it. And I'm going on the camera every day, just standing on there and telling them what it is. No budget, no marketing budget. But the marketing was smacking. We did what we had to do.
Wow. What was that like? Like going from meeting to meeting, like was it anybody that passed on the vision? Or did everybody hop on board?
No, for sure. It was more that hopped on than not. But you get those. It's something new. You feel me? Especially like what we doing that with I Wish I Knew. Like we all young. You feel me? Like I'm only 25, so they looking at me like, who is this? Who's this gangster? He got tattoos on his neck. Like, you don't know what he talking about for real. So, you run into that, but, people really receive as well, you feel me? Because they understand that, like, we really can relate to the pups, you feel me? We right there. Like, 25, I can have a conversation with 30 plus and then still talk to 18 and under, you feel me? Yeah. So, that's why on our team, like, me, when I formulated, like, I try to keep everybody, like, around my age and the same age for the simple fact that like I understand the dynamic of what we doing for and for a long time, even when we was in school, we doing assemblies and stuff like that. Like it wasn't people that came from the community that looked like us. We that's up there like what I got on right now, that's what I was in the joint with, you feel me? Like before, we had like nutrition programs coming in, white people coming, they don't really look like us, they can't really identify and relate with what we got going on. We got people coming in with suits, so it's like it was cool to get out of class. But how we doing it, like we be having kids there and stay after school for just to kick it with us, cause they so tapped in, and we just giving them that real life perspective on like what to expect after high school once they graduate.
Yeah, and I feel like since I'm a teacher in my day job, you feel what I'm saying? I feel like one of the major things that their kids are missing is representation. They don't see a lot of people that look like them. 100%. They don't see a lot of people that talk like them. They don't see a lot of people who've been through the same struggles. So I feel like it's very heavy what y'all doing. And the fact that y'all going from school to school, like giving them game that they can utilize right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And being people that they could look up to. Is that what you initially was going for when you made it? Like when you made what I wish I knew? Like, you know what I'm saying? For
sure that like our focus is always on like life skills and entrepreneurship, you know, for the reason being, like you said, that representation part is heavy because, you know, like the lid on opportunity as it relates to getting out of the hood, right? For all of us, like we all come from different lives and all that, families, but we all share that commonality of we from Philly, we all experience some form of poverty. You feel me? So that led on opportunity of getting out of the poverty is on what? Sports, entertainment. Yep. You feel me? So when we talk about bringing in different entrepreneurs, like we had Wolf in there, like, you know, he an author. You feel me? We bring in, you know, we got my man Kyle hands on trucking. He do construction. We got Ceci, she do finance, and we got a bunch of different people from out the city that's doing well for themselves. You feel me? In different lanes, so it's showing them that, oh, all right, dang, I could do that. I can write a book. Right. You feel me? Right. You know, for a lot of our youngins in our neighborhood, we really don't know we could do it till somebody tell us we can do it for or we see it in front of our face and it's tangible. You feel me? Yeah. So we don't really see. For years past, we don't see the doctors and the lawyers. Why? Because they get their money, move out the hood. Ain't nothing wrong for that. That's what you want to do. But right now, while we still, you know, our generation, we moving a little bit different when it comes to taking care of ourselves. For me, with y'all podcast, we on our entrepreneurship joint. So our focus is to grab the entrepreneurs while they still here before everybody blow up and make their money and slide. Yeah. And hold as that representation. Show the youngest that, like, look, I'm 25. You can be where I'm at or pass me in 7 years. It's not far-fetched, you feel me? I literally, like, even with Building 21, it's like, I was telling, like, I went to kindergarten in this school. Like, I got a real life story. The same spot I'm sitting at in this auditorium, my mom was sitting where y'all at, and I graduated 8th grade, you feel me? My homie Frank, tooth mark still in that, in that seat right there, you feel me? So it's like, it's real, you feel me? You know, for a lot of you know, a lot of times when we grow up, we really just don't be having that real positive outlook, you feel me, on like, dang, I can do that. I can do something a little bit different. I ain't got to be a gangster. I ain't got to conform to what's popping. I can stay in my own lane and make it work like this, you feel me? Yeah.
Is there anybody who, like for you specific, the same way that you go into the schools and do your thing, is there anybody who specifically, like, influenced you coming up, and then especially when you went into your foundation?
That's a good question. I gotta know a couple people. You know, we take inspiration all day from different walks, but, you know, one of my favorite stories is, like, you know, my old head, my OGML from my hood. You feel me? Like, I remember just being on the block, and, you know, like, I'm tapped in. I'm all the way in it. You feel me? So he, like, you know, he'll pull up, like, bro, like, what you doing? Like, we out. You feel me? I'm like, bro, like, I ain't missing this bread. You feel me? And at the time, I ain't really, like, it's crazy because at the time, and it just speak to, like, the mindset. Like, at the time, I'm like, I just took a little loss. I just came home, so, like, I'm just grinding, getting back. I'm probably profiting like $50 a day for like, I really realistically could have got a job. But, you know, I'm just on what I'm on, you feel me? And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to miss out on this bread. Like, I ain't sliding nowhere. He like, man, we out. Like, what you doing? So I'm like, where we going? He like, man, come on, you coming with me or not? We end up getting in the wheel. I slide. We end up going just to AC for the day on like a Wednesday. Wow. AC not really nothing too extravagant. You feel me? Everybody went there with their family, but it was just the nuance. Like, think it's Wednesday. Like, I can go to AC on Wednesday, because for me growing up, it was always summertime, family. You feel me? So that was like major for me. I was just taking a hold on that, like, dang, like it's more, you feel me? And then from then on, like I remember just walking to the block every day, like, and I'm just looking, I'm like, man, I'm tired of seeing the same thing every day. Like I want to see something a little bit different. So that kind of sparked in my head of like, yo, I gotta change up. I gotta do something different. You feel me?
That change of scenery.
Yeah.
I think that's important for people to have because sometimes they don't have the opportunity to see what's beyond the neighborhood.
No, for sure.
You know
that.
what I mean? And then, like
Sure
you
that.
said, to see like the freedom to choose on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's
Regular
heavy.
day of the week. I could choose. It's not the weekend.
Yeah.
It's not the holiday.
It's no special occasion,
Exactly.
nothing. Just slide, get up and go.
Exactly.
And once you start getting into that mindset and having those experiences, you never want to go back to,
Not at all.
you know, having to be on a set specific schedule that you didn't make yourself.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You feel me? Once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. So it's like I said, that was like a major drum for me, and like, you know, that's, you know, a little bit that we be, you know, trying to get across to the students, because even during that time, like for real, like people used to laugh. I used to be like, man, I feel institutionalized. Like I used to feel like I never leave Philly ever. Like for real, like I never leave Philly, because I never spent like, I want to say like more than 2 days outside of the state. You know, I went to college, but that was like PA. I went to Shippensburg. That wasn't, it was what it was. But like as far as going to another state and really spending real time, that wasn't nothing that happened for me. So I want to say like this past year, me and my youngest, we packed up and I'm like, man, we going to Atlanta. We're gonna stay down there for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Drove right down there. Experience was crazy. It was like, dang, like, even with that, it showed me like I can get on my will and go anywhere that I want to. You feel me?
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask this question to you first, and I'm gonna open it up to the floor since you specifically gave us your story though. But like, what was it like transitioning out the streets into like more legit business roles? Like, was it a difficult transition? What was it like?
It wasn't easy at all, man. Yeah. You know, cause you talking about habits at this point.
Yeah.
You talking about like, you know, a whole lifestyle change that, you know, is really easier said than done. But you know, like, it's hard to change somebody's mindset. You gotta really want that for yourself. Right. So, you know, I remember I was working up Norristown at his daycare, and I was just I'm walking up the joint. I just get to the top of the step and I just scream. I'm like, I had to let it out, cause like I'm going through the shit, like I don't want to be at work, but it's like, bro, this what you gotta do right now. Right. You feel me?
I make you feel that.
Like, I had to just let one go. You hear me? I'm like, but it's like, you know, it was real though, because like even with that, like you gotta figure out a whole new way of doing stuff, and then I'm trying stuff. You know, I got a kid at this time, like I gotta deal with his mom, she and my Pampers and all that, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it differently, how to establish something for my son. So I'm going in and out of getting a job and then going full-time entrepreneur, and then that ain't worked. So now I'm down bad. Now I gotta go back and get a job again, try it all over again. So it's like it's a lot. It ain't for the weak. You feel me? It ain't easy, but it's a process that, you know, once you enjoy it and understand it and know what it is, like, you know, it's a real self-growth type drawing, you feel me? Because you got to check yourself on a lot of stuff, you feel me? You got to check yourself. You got to be accountable for yourself. And then even when you get to the point, like, you know, where I'm at right now, I tell people, man, it took me 10 years to get somebody to send an email for me. Wow. We talking about this after millions of plays, you know, hundreds of clothes sold around the city making the news. It took me 10 years of grinding to get formulate a real team. So now the accountability level on my end a little bit different. Because now it's not just, it don't stop and start with me. It's stuff going on behind the scenes, where it's like I gotta be on top of myself and y'all. You feel me? I gotta always be pushing this joint. So, you know, it's definitely like it's a process in itself that I appreciate. You feel me? And you really just got want it for yourself. Can't nobody want nothing for you. You know, and our situation don't change until we change what's within ourselves for real.
Yeah, I feel like that's like so important. The fact that even though it was difficult, you kept going, and all the lessons that you learned and how you was able to take that onto the next stage. You feel what I'm saying?
100%.
Conquer one thing, you was able to like open up, and all right, I got that. Now I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to. You never went backwards. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Even when it was a fight, an obstacle to go back. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm talking about, look, I got a drawing. I said drug dealer nightmares, ruler face of the sour, millionaire migraine, trying to show him his hours. Like, I mean, like you still gotta deal with the temptation.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm down bad. I got a kid, but
yeah.
I got this plug. They still running in. Yo, bro, I got this crazy number for you. Let's get it
lock in,
popping.
right.
You gotta say no to that.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta say no, and then you gotta turn around, and you really don't got no money in your pocket.
Yeah,
It's like, you feel me? So
right.
That's discipline though. It pays off.
No, for sure. My homie got a line called Discipline Beats Motivation. It's a real shout out to Jihadian, man. It's a real like statement. You feel me? Cause that take fortitude. Like people that like you gotta really want to do it for yourself. Cause like people they not gonna say it at the time. I said like I'm arguing with family. I'm arguing with my kid mom. I'm arguing with myself. You feel me? Like just
yourself.
Because like it's stuff that you still like responsibilities don't go nowhere. You feel me? But you still got this. Everybody don't see this what I'm on. Yeah. When we get there, things gonna be better.
Trust me.
A lot of people be just stuck on right now, and they be worrying about right now, which is for their own right. But you gotta have tough skin through this joint. And everything it's a learning experience. Like you gotta take every bit of every moment for what it is.
Right.
For like you gotta take every moment for what it is, and just really, learn from it.
Right. And so to y'all, have y'all ever been in a spot where you was transitioning roles and it felt uncomfortable? And how did y'all deal with that? You feel what I'm saying?
Listen, I had to pray every day. Like, honestly.
What was happening? Can
like,
you tell us what was happening?
Okay, just a quick story. Because I've had quite a few things happen. And, like I'm sure many people have. But, like, when I graduated from college, I remember somebody from my family called me the day before graduation and told me that we lost our house at home. So I'm graduating from college. Like, I worked hard 4 years, like, bust my ass. And I'm writing, like, my final paper, like, about to turn everything in. And they called me, like, when you come home, we got to pack the house up because we got to be out by the end of the month. Graduation was May 12th. The end of the month is the 30th. So I'm like, I got my house at school. I packed everything up. And when I went back to Philly, I didn't have nowhere to go. So I had to drop my stuff off at one grandmom's house, the next grandmom's house, a cousin house, an uncle house. Like, just drop everything off everywhere. I, like, went and stayed with my other aunt in Pittsburgh for a couple weeks. Like, but I'm doing all this with a college degree.
Right.
Nowhere to live, no job, no nothing. It's just, like, I didn't know what to do, but, like, every day I woke up and just tried to figure something out. Like, kept praying. I kept, like, talking to my family, keeping my spirits up. And things just started falling into place because although I was dealing with a lot emotionally and, like, just all the trials that come along with that. Because, like, on one hand, I just accomplished something really great coming from a black community, like, the first person in my family. But on the other hand, it's like I still got the same stuff going on at home.
Reality.
Like, you could get away, but you can't get away at the same time. So it's like I really had to push through. So, like, within the year, I, ended up getting on my feet, getting myself together with my family and God, of course. But, like, it was real humbling. Like, it was very, very humbling.
It's crazy.
They be the joints that really make us for
For sure.
Right. Like,
it literally shaped everything, like, to this very day.
Them joints really shape everything. Like, one of my favorite moments, like I got when I dropped out of college, you feel me? My folks, they was like, all right, hit the road, Jack. So I remember, like, I don't celebrate Christmas now, but, around that time when I would give some thought to it, like, I remember Christmas Day. Like, I just got kicked out the crib. Like, I want to say Christmas Eve. So, like, Christmas Day, I'm at my man crib. I got a little shorty and all that. They with their family, so I ain't really trying.
Be around.
Them nights get cold. You feel me? So, like, during that time, I'm staying in my will and this, that, and the third. I remember one day it was just, like, raining, like, real hard. You feel me? It was, like, raining real hard. And I don't got nowhere to go. I don't want to turn my wheel on, waste gas. It's cold in the wheel. Yeah. And I'm just like, that real cold rain. So I'm sitting in the wheel in my Pontiac and all that. And I just had to think to myself, man, like, it's only one or two ways I could look at this situation right now, realistically. I could either dwell on what's going on, like, and think of it negatively, or I could look at it in a positive light and say, like, man, I still got 2 feet and a heartbeat. Yeah. Let me try to make something happen. Just start thinking about ways like, all right, boom, how can I do this? How can I do that? And at that time, I read somewhere that like the average millionaire got 7 sources of income. So I'm trapping at the time. I pick up a little valet job, and then I'm like, man, I'm gonna invest into a clothing line.
You like, that's 2.
There.
Now I got 3.
I'm doing my best. That positive mindset. That I ain't touch a mill yet, but
right.
It started something. You feel me? Just that thought. Right. Thinking positive, like, all right, dang. All right, how can I move around this? And then 2 and 5, like, it started out then. I ain't sell out all my shirts when it first started out. But now we moving hundreds across the city. You feel me? It's like people that they run up to me like, bro, you one of the top designers in the city. And I'm like, it's taking me by surprise because I don't even really look at I just look at it like, man, I'm making clothes. But then I still got to understand the outside perception. Like, dang, people is sending me pictures of, like, just random people, like, wearing my stuff. Like, I do be driving sometime and just see somebody wearing my clothes. So it's like, dang, like, this joint really is something to buckle down on, you feel me? But it all started from, like, being in that bad situation, you feel me? I, like, really having to pray and buckle down and look at stuff for better than what it is, you feel me?
That's true.
Having that foresight.
Do you ever had a moment where things were changing?
Trying to think of something specific. The most recent one I would say, I walked from one of my jobs, probably like 2 years ago. I walked, and when I first walked, everything was cool. I was happy that I left the job, happy that I left the stressful situation. I'm thinking like, I'll fall on my feet. I'll get something else. Normally, I never jump ship without having something else lined up, but this was the first time I just walked, and I couldn't find nothing. I couldn't find.
Why did you leave?
I left because of the management and the way the work environment was. Like, basically, long story short, I was supposed to be doing a certain job in a certain operation, and then they had me doing something else. And then it was like,
I've been there.
Yeah, we'll get to train you there. We'll get there. I didn't have the time. But, I'm sending out, I had an Excel sheet tracking everywhere that I sent a resume to, the date I applied, my follow-up date, nothing. Like, I wasn't even hearing back. And it got to the point where, like he said, responsibilities don't stop. Rent does not stop. Bills do not stop. So I'm thinking, like, it was the first time where my mind started to shift to the point where it was like walking downtown made me angry. Seeing people in suits going to work made me angry. And I had to really look into myself because I became a jealous and an angry person. And my mind started to switch. And so, like, when you were speaking about your situation, granted, it wasn't the exact same for me. I could relate because mentally I started to shift. I started to look at a lot of different things. I started to look at God different. But thankfully, just being able to get through that situation and potentially finally find something, after some time it went by, I was able to get through it. But initially it was rough, what I'm saying, to make that transition and to just go ahead and try to push through it. I think that's the important thing that I think everybody has said. The common factor is pushing through. As hard as it is, pushing through it, whatever it is, no matter how big or how small it is pushing through.
Because once you get the rock bottom, it's like, can't get worse than this.
Can't really get no worse than this.
That's a fact.
Can't get worse than this. Like something.
I'm looking up now.
So on that same tip, right? So when y'all was, we all been there. I ain't going to tell my story right now, but I get to it. Because I feel like, everybody had a great joint and all that. We got to keep it moving. But was it something specific that you felt like you had to, like, unlearn within yourself? Like a specific habit that you had? Like, I can't keep this because if I keep this, like, I'm not going to be able to get out of this, or I'm not going to be able to get to where I was going.
For me, I would say in the craft, like, as far as videography, photography, cinematography, like, there are a lot of tools and different things that people was using. And this might seem small to some people, but, like, plugins or stuff like that. I used to look at editing like, if I can't make the effect myself, I won't do it. Or I would look at other people as less than because you couldn't do it yourself. You would just drag and drop the effect. And I started to notice a lot of people that was around me doing the same thing I was doing elevate. Small things like that. I don't want to talk to or ask somebody else like, yo, how did you do this? Or what you using to do this? Something that small that somebody would have willingly gave me the information. I was too stubborn to ask.
Yeah.
And I had to unlearn that trait about myself, that stubbornness and that pride. Because that was preventing me from moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alone. And just dropping that, I've gotten way better. My network has gotten way better. My creative network has gotten way better. So just something that small influenced my creative work, and then I would even say my personal relationships.
Yeah. No, that ego and pride, John, that was my John for me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, like, I used to be like, man, I'm Manny 25. Like, I ain't catching no bus.
Right.
You feel me? But I had to look like, how else you gonna go get this money? You feel me? Like, you better go handle that. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then, like, another major John for me was, like, I used to be, like you said, like, just willingly speaking to people, right, and playing words. So, like, I used to be the boy. I'd come in, I'm like this the whole time. I'm just peeping the whole scene.
Yeah.
I'm peeping the scene. I had to really be real with myself, like, man, if you really want to do this business stuff, you're not going to be able to do that if you're not talking to people. Yeah. So literally, I had to, like, every day, like I told myself, every day you go outside, you know, you walk past somebody and then you just make eye contact with them. Yep. Like, at this time, I'm not driving, so I'm catching SEPTA everywhere. So I'm seeing a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Everybody made eye contact with, I'm just like, how you doing? Mm-hmm. That was, like, so key to changing my life and where I'm at right now. Just having that fortitude to just initiate. You feel me? So I had to, like, get out of my own way with pride and ego and thinking that I'm too good for certain stuff. And then I just also had to look at, like, you know, stop thinking that, like, my situation and looking at it like, man, I ain't got this, that, and the third. When for real, we really got a lot of resources. You feel me? Like, a lot of support. You feel me? And I sum it up like this, like, it's 3 levels of support. Everybody so when we think of support, what we think of, right? Like, outside support, like my man reposting my drum, right? You know, all that commenting, you feel me? People buying my product, right? It's 2 of them that we really sleep on for. That one, the outside support, it's important, but it's like the lesser one. You feel me? That you can't even really worry about. That should be the plus for like when it come, alhamdulillah, that's a good job. The first one is the natural support that we got from God. He wake us up every day. You know, he give us, we complain about a situation, but he give us a sight, hearing, little things to be giving for that, for real, but we complain all day. Right. And I always look at it like, I use the analogy of, like, let's say SEPTA on strike. You at the top of Broad Street, $1 million is at City Hall. You at Broad and Shelton. SEPTA on strike. It's 100 degrees outside and your will not working. What the average person gonna do? Man, I can't get down there. Yeah. I can't get down there. Yeah. But when we be grateful of that natural support of saying, like, damn, I got 2 feet and a heartbeat, I'm gonna walk. Right. What end up happening is you might walk from, you know, Broad and Cheltenham to, like, Broad and let's say Lehigh, Broad and area, something like that. And then you see somebody that's driving, like, yo, what's up, gang? What you want? Where you going? I'm going to City Hall. All right, damn, I'm on that way. Let me take you, hop in. Yeah. You would have never even got that help if you wasn't appreciative of the natural drum.
You gotta work for yourself.
100%. And that's the second support. Us going for ourselves. You feel me? Putting that best foot forward. You feel me? Whereas, like, people only go as hard as for us as we go for ourselves. For so when we lock in just on the natural resources that we got around, like you said, just since then, let me just ask them a question. How did you do that? People want to tell you. You feel me? 9 times out of 10, for me, people really going to tell you, like, whatever you ask them for. You just got to ask the question. And then the second one, just, you know, having that initiative and that fortitude to push forward, it make the third one real easy. Yeah. Because once you're doing all that, people, it don't be that people don't support. People support stuff that make them feel purposeful and they see value in. We can only do that while being grateful for the first 2 levels of support. So stop complaining, you know, just make do with what it is. You feel me? Make the best of it.
Yo, you was just dropping some real gems. I was tuned in. Them real. Everything was fire though, but I feel like it really showed in everything that you're doing and your whole story that you told so far, and
100%.
And everybody else who ever has even come up here going through something, like the mentality, like I might not have the outside, but I got God, and then I got me. You know what I'm saying?
That's enough. That's
enough.
And speaking those words itself really has power.
Yeah.
Like in itself, like I agree with things that both of y'all said, like the spirit of shamefulness, complaining, stubbornness, everything. Like, you know, when you complain, you're really speaking negativity over your life. You know, like, and manifestation is real. The power of words is real. The power of the tongue is real. Like, you know, you can be upset and you can be mad with God or mad with yourself or mad with your situation, but you still have to, like, know that better is, like, just ahead. You know? Like, people get very stuck in their current situation, like you were saying earlier, and it really shifts your, like, aura.
Yeah, you never ultimately end up getting out of it for. And, like, you look up and it's like, dang, like, I'm 25. I ain't do nothing for all I did was complain this whole time. You feel me? But I really got this high income skill that I ain't push play on. Why? Because I'm worrying about everything else but
everything bad.
Myself. You feel me? About what I can do. You feel me? About locking in. And we gotta understand that, like, what we doing when we pursue anything, it take a lot of sacrifice. You feel me?
That's
like a whole lot of sacrifice. Like a lot of people, like social media is selling everybody on the luxury of entrepreneurship. I feel like we in our second phase of the American dream, right? So the first American dream was White House, picket fence, 2 kids. Feel me?
Pension.
Now, now is financial freedom. Entrepreneurship is easy. Financial freedom is a click away. Take this course. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So now, what people are getting away from is the real grind.
Yes.
Of, like, your first batch of clothes may not sell. You may want to do lashes or whatever the case be, and you might not got no. You might got one client a month. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So you know, like, like to really build and understand that, like, no, like, all right, I really want this, so I need to take less in my life. Let me stop going to the clubs and the bars, and let me stop ordering food out. Let me live below my means so that I can really invest into what I got going on, because all it takes is that 1 year. Right. That's a wrap. Yeah. You feel me? You may have grinded and ain't profit off what you really doing. You may have only made your re-up in enough just to pay your bills for years. You feel me? Mm-hmm. But you get that 1 year, you meet that one connect, you shake that one hand. Dang, this joint just smacked for 10 mil. Yep. Yeah. Life everything different. Yeah. You feel me? But you never get there if we don't sacrifice it. We don't really embrace the grind. We don't stop looking at other stuff that don't got nothing to do with us. You feel me? Like, focus on everything that we gotta do with ourselves. Like, you can get up every day. We control our joint. Like, my joint, my favorite joint, they be asking, like, man, what's up with you? I'm like, man, I'm good, man. If not me, then who? If not now, then when? Right. You feel me? Right. Yep. But it ain't nothing else to talk about. You feel me?
That's a great point.
I feel like, and so you was talking about it only take 1 year, right? So to bring it back to the nonprofit a little bit, what was the year that you got, whether it was internal, like a self affirmation, or like an outside affirmation that let you know, I'm gonna press play on this, like this gonna be my thing that I'm a.
It was real early on. Like I said, like, looking at my research, so I'm like, man, I had this whole idea. I wrote everything down to the point I was daydreaming. I could damn near see the event, and I was in the event. So once I went there and I said, like, all right, boom, let me put some action towards this drum. I said, all right, where can I go? I never did this before. Like, where can I know you need permits and stuff like that. Where can I go for this? Yep. I'm like, yo, what's his name? It's a state rep, Dwight Evans. His office is on Ogans every day. We walk past it every day. Mm-hmm. People that, I'm like, dang, I want to get in this lane. Now I look at people that want to get in the lane. We got these state reps and stuff. They there for a reason. Go in their office and ask them and tell them what you trying to do. That's what they there for. So I went in the office and I told him, like, man, this is what I want to do. I want to have vendors. I want to, give out the book bags and stuff like that. How do I do it? She said, all you got to do is go to the school and ask for their permission. That was that 1 year. And I was like, oh, for real? I went right to the school, told them what I wanted to do. They embraced it. Rest was history. Let's get your clearances. Let's make sure this the process. All you gotta do is follow directions after that. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Rest was history. We got the date. We stamped the date. Now all I had to do was mark it on the gram and let everybody know what was going on.
Was there ever a point that you felt like you was in over your head, or like you was doing like it got more bigger than what you know what I'm saying?
I feel like we always get those moments a little bit. You see it today. we always get those moments a little bit, man. But you know, that's just that negative mindset for like I read something one day. It said like whenever we get an idea, like, and I don't know the truth of the statistic, but you know, the ideology of it made sense to me. It was like 78% of our brain automatically think negative about the idea once we get it, of like why it won't work, why we can't do it, this, that, and the third. You feel me? So like in those moments, like to really take control of our thoughts and be present, like, man, you want some nut stuff, stop talking to yourself like that. You feel me? Like,
right.
And really say like, all right, boom. All right, I ain't even going to feed that, but let me see what's going on. Like today, like, you know, like the DJ ain't show up. Both of my event coordinators ain't show up. My PR that coordinate with all of the artists and panelists, only 2 panelists showed up. Who else was missing? Like, you feel me? Like, yo, like literally, like if you check the videos on the recap, we usually be like 20, 30 deep at the schools. You feel me? It was like 5 of us. I don't even think we crossed double digits for we probably had 9.
Yeah.
You feel me? But you know, in that moment, the average person gonna say, man, I ain't doing this during the day, man, ain't nothing go right. You gotta be able to turn that switch off and say like, all right, boom, problem solve mode. How we about to do this? First of all, let me start with myself. What can I do? All right, I know I can host. I can interact with them. I can step in and do that. All right, boom, who here? Boom. All right, dang, you need to do that. Bro said, I was just looking at the during the concert. He was like, yo, anything you need me to do? Oh, yeah, you a podcast interview. Be the moderator real quick. You know? Like, cool. Like, so we got to be able to think quick on our tools.
Right.
When those no negative thoughts come, and really be present and say, like, man, that's the devil whispering to me for that shit time. I know I got this vision and I'm on what I'm on for a reason. For you feel me? So let me stop being a nut. Let me put my pants up, roll my sleeves up, and get to it and make it happen.
The crazy part about that is that whole mentality played out like right in front of me. Like I watched it happen, and the result of it was beautiful because nobody there knew what you was going through.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? The only people that knew what you was going through was us for real. Yeah. And everybody carried it in a way that was brilliant. Like everybody there, the students loved it.
That was the main thing. I'm like, all right, they don't even dig what's going on right now, but as long as they tapped in, you feel me? That's the goal.
They gonna go home and tell somebody about that. We was able to connect them with resources to be entrepreneurs. 100%. We was able to open doors and show them, like, even what you were saying, like make practical applications of their current school subjects and stuff like that. They gonna go home and really resonate with that. And it's a possibility that could have not happened if you got overwhelmed or you felt overwhelmed. You felt like I can't handle this situation.
You gotta be cool through it. You feel me? You gotta be cool through the pressure. Feel me? Because that's where everything at. You gotta be able to slow life down. I remember I used to play football, and we gotta give them that that practicality of like they subjects too.
Yeah.
But like I remember playing football. I used to tell my man, like, he was asking, like, yo, what you be thinking when the ball in the air to you? And I'm like, bro, everything just be quiet. All I see is the ball. And he was like, bro, like, you know, some of the best receivers in the world, like, that's what they be on for. You know, like, I ain't make it to the league and nothing like that. But, you know, I still see that in my life. Like, when stuff, like, get real. Like, and it's a situation where people usually panic and they lose. They don't know what to do. I just be on all cool ice and I just break everything down and be like, and I just react like, all right, this what need to happen.
I see the ball.
Yeah, you feel me? I got to make a move right now because y'all panicking and all that. If I panic with y'all, who going to get us out the situation? You feel me?
Another thing I like that you had said was like a lot of what you're saying is just basically pulling your boots up, man. Listen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it got to get done.
Lace it up every day.
Right. It's like I could either emote, I could react out of my emotions right now, or I could literally buckle down and do what I got to do. Question I had is that with that being your mentality, what was it like getting support behind what I wish I knew? was it a lot of you just grinding and getting it done yourself, or were you able to get a lot of people who came and gave you genuine support along the way?
No, definitely. You know, right now it's like a team of like 7 of us that work on this drum.
Yeah.
But you know, starting out, I want to say it was like 3 other people that worked on what I wish I knew, like that initial event. You feel me? You know, a lot of them, they not actively working in it right now, and so you know, stuff like that happens. Some people be here for projects, some people here for a season, some people here for a reason. You feel me? And as it relates to business, some people really tapped in with the vision and want to be here long term, and some people just there for the project, and some things just don't work out. You feel me? Yeah. But you know, for me, I just know like I'm not gonna put nobody in position to do anything that I can't do myself. So regardless of what happens, like I said today, I knew I could. With the whole event, I knew I could play any position if I need to, so that we could step in and keep it going. So I think that answered your question.
Yeah. I just think that's just what it's about. Like honestly, even when we talk about our podcast and hearing, you know, when he told me and called me and told me what happened today, it was just like that is literally what it's about. Like sometimes when things go wrong, stuff happens. It's just like, all right, I could either sit here. React in a negative way, or I could get to it.
That's like that day our cameras were all messed up. Remember the picture card was messed up? We didn't have no cups. Like everything was wrong.
And that's what we was talking to the students about today. Like we was letting them know like education is bigger than, you know, like math, science, reading, social studies. You know, you could be educated in a lot. You could be educated in grass and take care of yourself. You feel me? But we also let them understand that like you gotta take it for what it is, because like I got a homie, like he always joke. He be like, bro, I know your full name because like they always used to say your name on a loudspeaker and your name was on the posters for having the highest test scores in school and stuff like that. Yeah. So like I see like, you know, me being attentive in school to the different subjects, how it work in my life. So we talk to the students about like how math, you gotta pay attention to math. Why? Because 1 + 1 is what? A problem. You have to solve that problem. You gotta solve for X. You take away all that, it's problem solving. That's what math teaches us how to do. So if you skilled at math, you're gonna be able to think quick on your toes and solve problems in real life. When it come to reading is what? It helps us do what? Understand and comprehend. You feel me? You need to read. You got to know comprehend what's going on right in front of your face to even be able to problem solve. All right. You feel me? And then with history, you got to know where you came from to know where you're going. So, you know, just giving them that real practicality for them to take what they doing a little bit serious. Because, you know, regardless of how we feel about the school system, you know, it don't teach us this, it don't teach us that. But when we really we lock in on what they giving us, it is beneficial in the long run for real. But, you know, we really just got to know how it's beneficial to understand that, like, I think I do need to pay attention in this round.
For sure. I feel like we talked a lot about what I wish I knew. And I feel like for the people who haven't never seen it or nothing like that, they probably don't have no clue, no type of, you feel what I'm saying? They don't know what's going on. So can you break down real quick, like, what a day, like, what it looks like at a day at one of the events?
All right, so how I go down is we come in, first we meet the students where they at for we come in, we got shout out to 5 Star, they going crazy, the twins, they got a crazy sound. So we start out, we got performers and all that. We meet them where they at, we get them hype. Right. Yeah. And then we calm it down. That's the first 30 minutes, DJ spinning, we do all that. Then the next 45 minutes, we get into the programming of like the panelists. So we have a moderator, and we ask the panelists specific questions, and we ask them like what's code switching, you know, just like, you know, like a basic interview to dress the ambiance and of the assembly. Right. And then we open it up for the students to ask questions. And then, you know, we have like a guest speaker each time. Like today we had Minister Zay with Humble. He gave out a couple hoodies and stuff like that. You feel me? Yeah. And we just really be moving like that. And then at the end, we do like a networking joint where, you know, they can follow whoever they gravitated to the most or whatever case be, get a picture with them. And we get out of there. You feel me?
Great job. I was able to witness it. It was a great job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you told us about it. Can you tell us about like what's next? Like what's next for you? What's next for What I Wish I Knew? Like what's
next right now, man? A lot for man. Like where do we start? I know we working on like a
Give us like a top.
You said a topic.
Like a top 3.
A top 3. We got a summer program that we working on. A 10-week summer program where we going. It's like basically entrepreneurship boot camp. And at the end, you know, we gonna do like a Shark Tank. We gonna walk them through like business planning, marketing, all of that, market research. We gonna walk them through each joint throughout the summertime each week, and then do the Shark Tank at the end. Then the winner, we think about paying for the LLC, but you know, depending on where we at with our fundraising and all that, we might even grant them the winner $1,000 or something like that, and you know, not give them the $1,000 to spend it freely, but let's say the winner got like a crazy idea for a clothing line, so we going buy your first machine, your first inventory,
beautiful,
and let you run with the ball from there for.
That's beautiful.
So that's that. We also got like we following up the tour with a high school expo that we planning right now. So we gonna invite some of the student entrepreneurs from the schools that gravitated to us to come out vent for free. Invite people like us, you feel me, from out the city that from within my network that I know that they probably following on the gram and stuff like that, to come out, support them, buy from their table, and have different workshops set up on like, you know, learning how to make clothes or how to do a business plan or whatever the case be, you feel me? So that's what we working on. And we working on that. The second Power Community Ceasefire Day Back to School Job Concert and Cookout. That's really our first annual event. Yeah. But you know, COVID stopped us for like the last 2 years. We couldn't do it. So you know, we just gearing up, getting our ducks in a row to, you know, tackle that again and go a little bit harder. We had 262 out the first time. I want 1,000.
And it's gonna happen.
1,000.
And it's gonna happen.
And I feel like the more like we all, you know, network with each other, you feel what I'm saying? A lot of people is on a positive wave right now. Different people coming through here doing big things, and the more we support each other, the more the bigger everybody event going to be.
That's the truth.
The more that everybody going to be tuned in. Because I feel like every young boy in the world need to hear everything you just said. Keep it being this whole time.
That's
like,
true.
I'm playing this for my class 1,000%. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
That's why community is so important.
No, it is. That's our whole joint at What I Wish I Knew is like the power of community, getting people to understand like we got everything that we need. Like we black, we spend the most money in the world. We just don't got a mindset. We don't spend it on each other. We're not knowledgeable of like, all right, then we talking about the problems in the community, but we got community organizations that's doing the work, you feel me? That's doing the work that we keep on waiting for the government to do that they're obviously never going to do. You feel me? So like, if we just shift the mindset to, all right, let me put the money there, you feel me? Let me spend it here, let it circulate there. We can start to see what the power community it is and how it really works. And it's really strong for you feel me?
That's why I'm glad that you even spoke to like the local government. Like we walk past those offices every day. Every day. We never know it. And then even with community amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Tapping into each other, we could all put each other onto, you need this, I know somebody that does it. You know what I'm saying? You need this, I know somebody that does that. Just working with each other.
It was a crazy post, man, the other day on No Gun Zone. Like the little girl, she was like knocking on people's doors saying she ain't had nowhere to go, this, that, and the third. You know they got the Ring camera, so you can see all that. It just made me like understand that what we doing is that much more important when we talk about the power of community. Because it's like, why you don't know Miss Johnson down the street?
Right.
You and your mom beefing or whatever case be. Why can't you go to the elder crib down the street? You feel me? Like we so separated and jammed up as a people. It's crazy. Like I even look at it like this. Like you'll think like, I remember catching the train just thinking about this. Like you'll think that you'll be on a train with somebody and you think that this your first time seeing this person.
Yeah.
But reality, you probably really seen that person before, like when you was just younger. You know, we evolve and we look different through life. So you probably really seen that person before for real. But because we so jammed up as a community, I don't know you. I'm not going to just say what's up to you. You feel me? That we don't really know that thing. This really not a stranger. this person lived in this city as long as we lived in the same neighborhood, same block for the past decade for real.
Right.
Never had a conversation, you feel me? I don't even know that you really skilled in this, or you really sharp here, or you really just a cool person, or that you just a nut and we need to keep eyes on you for real, even down to that part.
Even that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So like we gotta do better, just like, you know, with the implementation of how we deal with each other. For like I'm learning the whole like I ain't talking to people stuff. Like
Right.
we be in our own way with that joint for
Right.
and it hurt us bad. Like I said, little girl, like she knocking on strangers' door. Why don't you know the people on your block?
Right.
Right. After speaking on community, you know, what would you say to entrepreneurs, kids, anybody that might be tuned in watching this? Any words of advice and things that you have learned as an entrepreneur that you could pass on to them?
That's a good question, man. It's a lot that I learned for but you know, if I could really sum it up, it's really just gratitude at a high level. You feel me? Like for whatever it is that you can do. You feel me? Like, cause you never know what turns into what. Like I used to think my gift was rapping. You feel me? I had millions of streams. That's the first thing a lot of people knew me for and stuff like that. For a series I created called Relationships. And then, you know, as I start to grow and I start to work more on my gift, I start to understand that, oh, my gift not rapping. My gift really articulating myself. Rather I'm writing something down, rather I'm making a post with a long caption, rather I'm talking to people, whatever the case be. It's really just, because even with rap and poetry, that's just a form of articulation, just a pun on words, you feel me? So like, you know, being grateful to what we already have, like we talked about, like being grateful for that, and just, you know, offering opportunity to people. This a real job. Like the team that I got right now, like I wouldn't have it if I didn't offer opportunity to people. Like, so I look at it like this, like when you offer opportunity to somebody, it's like one of three things that they can do with the opportunity, right? We all heard the expression, like, I'm gonna give you the rope so you can hang yourself. So that's me giving you the opportunity. I'm gonna give you the rope. So you either gonna hang yourself with it, you either gonna give it back to me, you feel me? Or pass it off to somebody else, or you gonna put the rope to the side, go get a boat, go fish, and use the rope to tie the boat to the land so that we can always go fish again. But you won't never see that play out if you don't offer opportunity to people. So, you know, we gotta get our own way of like thinking that we can do everything that ourselves. When we even talk about economic change within our community, we gotta stop sending our young boys to work for Walmart and Foot Locker and McDonald's. It's enough entrepreneurs out here, whereas if you just had that mindset of like, it's not about me. Like I got a bro, I said a boss gonna take a cut to guarantee the whole team eat. You feel me? So it's like we gotta like get a control on our labor as a people. You feel me? Like we keep sending our labor away. That's our money.
Right.
We go get degrees, or we don't get a job. I mean, we don't get a degree, we go get a job and work for somebody else when your folks own a hair salon or your folks got a clothing line, whatever. You feel me? And you can work something out, even if, you know, it's small time and it ain't paying as much, but still dedicate some time to it so that it can grow. Right. You feel me? And we can just, you know, that's another form of circulating the dollar, because if I got a business and you working under my company, the money is staying in the house. That's the truth. The money that I'm getting from the company is coming to you and it's staying in the house. So, like, we just got to get to that point of, like, you know, gratitude and just really offering opportunity to other people so that we can really scale and see, like, the effects and the benefits of what we looking to do and pursue.
It's beautiful, man. I know I speak for everybody when I say we appreciate you coming here.
Sure. I appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yeah,
appreciate
man,
your minds, man.
I really hope that everybody that tunes into this, if you do, I know they're going to grab something from you.
Sure.
Hopefully, man.
Let the people know where they could find you at, man, where they could lock in with you, where they could connect with you at.
Yeah. Manny 215_ on the gram. I think it's 2 underscores on Twitter, but, you know, we got 215 Apparel. 215apparel.com. Add What I Wish I Knew Foundation. In Your Face Resources, that's my agency. So right now we shooting like commercials and stuff for people. You know, putting our own little spin on commercials and helping, you know, businesses scale and grow through that. and Philo Solutions, man. That's the GC company. So we get busy with the cribs and all that too. So
man, I told y'all he was in there. Didn't I tell y'all that? I told y'all. But man, once again, seriously, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
No doubt, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Another great one. To my left, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Blondie _1 on Instagram.
Bang, JJ, where can they find you at?
It's just JJ. Holla at me.
And last but not least, be sure to follow the studio. Shout out to Studio 524 Philly. Produces our podcast. You can follow us at The Winners Culture for more. And that's until next time. We out.